Well, we welcome Phil Mickelson as the 14th GOAT of golf. Um, Very special club. I'll explain it a little bit. By the way, if you like these videos, please subscribe to this channel. We hope to keep these videos coming and to look at the odd stories and stories that maybe are a little bit different, and take a look at some different courses too. And we hope to have a number of those come up this summer. So, give us a subscription and, allow us to keep going here. Anyway, Mickelson, the 14th GOAT of golf. And, there are three Phils. Okay. Mickelson, always was brilliant. And could hit shots that seemingly, particularly in the short game, that seemingly nobody else could hit. Maybe not even Tiger or Nicklaus or um, you know Tom Watson or those folk. So he had it all. What can I tell you? Probably his weakest weapon was his driver, although given his length, I don't know that it was that weak a weapon. But Phil the Younger, here he is winning his first green jacket. Certainly the Masters tends to be one of maybe the tournament that decides who the best golfers are. And we have a video on that on this channel. There's reasons to believe that it's the Masters tournament which really counts more than the other one in terms of finding who the best players are. His early successes are hardly, minimal, putting it gently. He's the last amateur to win a PGA event 30 years ago. That's really remarkable. Before 2006, before the U.S. Open 2006, he had three majors under his belt, two Masters and a PGA. But there's a clue here as to why it takes Mickelson to his 50th, almost 51st year to become one of the GOATs. Mickelson wins a lot of tournaments, but he's the second oldest of all the GOATs to actually win his first major. And so, only Ben Hogan, pretty good company there, only Ben Hogan was older. By the time he reaches the U.S. Open in 2006, he has 22 previous victories. Heck, I'll take one PGA victory. But I'll take half, a quarter of a PGA victory. But Phil had 22 of them by the time he reaches the U.S. Open in 2006. So why am I pressing down on the U.S. Open in 2006? And of course, that's a famous meltdown on 18. The weakness in Phil's game up to this point was that he could hit any shot. That there was, literally, if you could think up a shot, Phil could hit it. And that's great, except for the fact that you can't do it all the time. Let's say that the 4% chance of pulling off a shot, and Phil is so good that he's triple that. That's still only 12%. And Mickelson kept blowing majors and other things by trying to hit shots that, Ben Hogan couldn't have hit if he were assisted by a band of angels. And so essentially what's going to happen here is on the 18th hole of the 2006 U.S. Open, Phil suffers an almost unbelievable meltdown. And the end result, of course, is that, as he said later on, I am such an idiot. And I think that nobody has ever disagreed with him on that one. In one instance, he went for an impossible shot, and about 30 yards in front of him was a tree. Trees tend to get in the way of golf balls, and Phil manages to hit what would have been what should have been the tournament winning shot squarely into a tree. If he had laid up on that shot, he would now be a U.S. Open winner, almost certainly. He didn't, and as he said, I am such an idiot. And he was. But that's really the making of a goat, because, the things that make goats, the thing that really, really makes greatest of all time is the fact that they are under control. If you look at, say, the Watson-Nicklaus battles, the key thing about those things is that, Watson wins 3 of those. Why? Because he didn't bend under the pressure. He kept his head, kept his stomach, which is even harder, and pulled off miraculous victories. Well, Phil would let the intoxication of the moment carry him away in the first third of his career. And as a result, of course, he was not heading for GOATdam. He was probably heading to having one last major and then going away. But Phil now, he always went for difficult shots. He's just going to stop going for the really, really crazy far out 1 in 1,000 shot. And so after the meltdown in 2006 U.S. Open, he's going to be a wiser, older golfer. One of the fascinating things about Phil, of course, is his sheer longevity. He was in the top 100 golfers from the 1990s into the 2020s. A remarkable period of time. Really, nobody else has that kind of longevity. So how do you end up being so successful for so long? Well, it's because you're no longer the young Phil. You're becoming older, wiser Phil. Oh yeah, you're going to continue to hit an occasional crazy shot. But with Phil's immense talent, Phil learns how to be very smart. And when he won the PGA just a few months back, this 6th major, which gives him GOATdam, if you go back and you watch that last round, what you're going to see is somebody playing within his game, not trying anything super. This was not trying to be Superman. He was trying to win the tournament. I think a very wiser, much wiser, very much more intelligent, and certainly a very much more thoughtful Mickelson. And so I like to think of that of his final years here as Phil the Sage. So, why is there more than one GOAT? Why are we saying that this is the 14th GOAT? And I think the answer to that is that, what happens is only a tiny number of people win a major. Only a really tiny number of people win 2 majors. But there are 14 golfers, including Mickelson, who have won 27% of all majors since 1860. That's about 460 majors. So a tiny number of people have won more than a quarter of all majors over the last 160 years. These guys are the GOATs. They can hold it together under the most extreme circumstances. And Phil, after the meltdown at the US Open in 2006, became GOAT material. He holds his head together, he holds his stomach together, and that's what makes a GOAT. Oh, you gotta have talent too. Let's be truthful about this, you gotta have talent. I could hold my stomach and my head together and still not break 80 on these courses. So, much less on my local courses, much less, on the courses these folks are playing. So, let's celebrate Phil. Great guy, interesting guy, always has an idea, always doing something new, and a guy who holds it together now. So in some way, that 2006 meltdown was really the key to GOATdam. Okay, everybody out there, take care, stay well, and we will look for another major. Please subscribe, and we'll be happy to continue these videos. Take care.